We're playing some Jund Saga today with a little bit of new technology in Fable of the Mirror Breaker. There's been a lot of buzz about Fable and Modern lately, and a lot of people have been asking me about it in, like, specifically Rakdos Rock. And I think that Fable is like really good in creativity, where all three modes are super synergistic. You're basically always happy to draw it. It gives you a good, cohesive, grindy game plan against interaction. And I think that Fable is not very good in Rakdos Rock, where you have like no synergy with any of the modes, and I think it's gonna be a bit worse than Season Pyromancer most of the time. So, Child, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. I've been born in the sub now. Hell yeah. So, but in Jund Saga though, Fable actually does have a lot of synergy, where making the treasure tokens grows your Urza Saga tokens, something very important for Jund Saga to have those incidental artifacts, which is also why I like Tireless Tracker a lot in the deck. The discard mode is really good in your Wrenn and Six deck to like turn that into like actual card advantage. And then the copy mode is way, way better here than it is in Rakdos, because you get to copy Urza Saga tokens, trackers, Tarmogoyfs, as opposed to Rakdos, where it's like Dothy Voidwalker is like really the only good card to copy in that whole deck. And so I'm pretty, and also you get to play Fable and Tireless Tracker to maintain your Gigantha companion. Companions are pretty broken. They're especially good in like discard-based mid-range decks like this, where both players go down to top decking pretty often. I'm pretty excited for the deck. I think the Fable is a good addition here. Very classic Jund Saga hand. I think that we are supposed to keep. Get a. Obviously, Blood Crypt or Overgrown Tomb. I think we get Blood Crypt, so if we draw Ragavan, that can be our green mana. Can I explain the idea behind playing one? It's easy, side out card to make room for separate cards. Yeah, I wanted one more. So Affinity is like relatively popular at the moment, and so Kolaghan Screen is kind of a versatile sideboard card where you can bring it in against some of the more fair quote unquote matchups. Okay, playing against the Canisters, I can never remember the name of the card. The Teamer enchantment that you draw a ton of cards every time you cast a spell. Sorry, the I don't know why I keep losing my train of thought this morning. The Kolaghan Screen helps you hedge against the artifact decks while also being a bit more versatile than other anti-artifact cards. Although you could definitely play something else. Okay. Gonna just get rid of that flashback Strike It Rich now. Not that they would like necessarily main phase the flashback, I guess. Song of Creation, thank you. Yeah, I've had the hardest time remembering the name of that card. This turn, let's just prioritize putting some pressure on my opponent. Dash Ragavan, play Tarmogoyf. You're talking about Brainstone? I don't think I was talking about Brainstone right now. So this is like the second time I've played Jund Saga with Brainstone. Okay, I'm fine here. I think if they endurance me and they lose their Strike It Rich token. Obviously I lose the Ragavan, but like making them use the token I think is fine. I wasn't sure that they were going to do this, because I just feel like that mana is just so crucial for them to like have their combo function here. Although maybe this buys them enough time. Okay, so yeah, Brainstone. Brainstone I know is a weird card. A lot of times these Jund Saga lists play one Mishra's Bauble as an Urza Saga target that allows them to draw a card instead of, doing something else, right? In my opinion, the Brainstone is better than the Mishra's Bauble. Because it both like helps you get rid of mana flood, smooths out your hands, and just like especially in your deck with Wrenn and Six, it's just pretty common to have a bunch of lands clogged up in your hand, and having that like brainstorm effect is really, really powerful. I've been liking it. See what we draw this turn though. Pretty likely to just be making another Saga token. Could dash the Ragavan. Could dash the Ragavan and then play a Goyf post-combat. That's probably going to be better. Let me get the Shadowspear. Could have another Endurance, I guess. I just need to put pressure on them, though. Yeah, you can't fetch Rabbit Battery, so that doesn't make too much sense. Want to farm play points right now? What's the best deck to run in Pioneer? Probably Mono Blue Spirits. Although that one maybe does take some time to learn the sequencing. There's some nuance. When I'll be starting the God Run 3 any day now. Any day now. Okay. Any way that I can get lethal? I don't really think so. And I'm 1 mana short. Okara with the 12 months, thank you. I at the very least stop my opponent from being able to fetch and playing a Song of Creation, which is pretty valuable. I played a league with Mono Blue Spirits, got shit on by 4 Heroic Prowess decks, feels like a terrible matchup. Yeah, I think I agree with that too. I think Wrenn and Six price would drop with Double Masters 2. It'll drop, but the demand is like still super high for the card, and it's a mythic rare and like a very small open set, so I I don't know that supply demand goes up with Double Masters 2, but supply goes up a little bit, right? So drop a little bit. Probably. Think you're making me so passionate about Modern? Awesome. I'm glad that you're liking the stream. Definitely working really hard. Alright, so yeah, Boseiju seems like a really good counter to the Song of Creation deck, especially because they can't counter it. Like a lot of times they'll go Song of Creation with Pact of Negation up, but Boseiju kind of seems just like the perfect card to fight them. Still kind of learning how to sideboard in this matchup. This is becoming a more and more popular deck as Canister has been doing a really good job tweaking and tuning it over the last couple weeks. I think I'm going to cut all my bolts and pushes. Maybe I'll keep push in over Terminate to kill the endurances. Maybe I'll play 2 push for that purpose. And then I don't think I'm needling anything. Obviously needle Mishra's Bauble. Voidmere does stop their packs and stops their Mishra's Baubles. Voidmere is probably okay. And the Turox. Okay, let's do this. Frank with the 4 months. Glad you're liking the stream. Welcome back. We're doing a blue, white, and soul and Pioneer. I'm not a huge fan. I tend to find like the clock is kind of like oftentimes too slow to race mono green, and that's like a pretty bad litmus test to fail. People also like love to play a lot of artifact hate in Pioneer, despite there not being very many artifact decks, which is frustrating for the Ensoul players, I imagine, as well. Okay, so this hand has to be a keep against Glimpse combo. We have 3 discard spells, and we have Boseiju, Wrenn and Six. What we don't have is another land to actually Boseiju, Wrenn and Six, but we could also just play this as a land and just have a bunch of fetch lands back and draw something else later. Yeah, also Karn's really good against you. As the Ensoul player. Yeah, I haven't been a huge fan. I feel like you're like not great at racing a lot of the linear decks, vulnerable to a lot of hate, somewhat inconsistent. Don't have like too many good payoffs besides Ensoul. And Ensoul is like a really fragile payoff too. Would I try Etron sometimes? My opponent has skipped their first turn. So what I like to do on this channel is ideally focus on innovating and trying new things. That's what I like to do. I'm not always successful at it, but what I like to do on the channel is focus on new things and focus on trying to try new stuff and brew. And like in this deck, we're playing the main deck, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, has some cool, interesting tech, and Jund Saga, right? And so it's very rare for me to just be like, I'm gonna play an established deck on the day, just see how it feels. So like for if I ever have like ideas on how to improve Eldrazi Tron, then sure, I'd be down to play it. But even if I feel like playing a deck for the first time on stream, I'm gonna spend time off stream practicing it, and that would be more common if I was doing a trophy race, which I've been known to do every once in a while. And that's mostly, you know, for my own sanity, as if the stream ever became just every single day, I just pick a tier 1 deck to play, and then, you know, and then that's the whole stream. I would just get so bored. Okay, they've got their own Boseiju. So what's good about this spot is even if they top deck their combo card, it doesn't really do anything because they have no spells in their hand. Would the next trophy race be Pioneer? It would almost definitely be Modern. Like, the reality with Pioneer's a fine format. There is some room for innovation. It is fun, too. But it's also, like, just so much less diverse that when I choose to do a trophy race, it's just like I'm just committed to it for for a long time. Committed to that one format for a long time, and if it gets stale, it's just a nightmare to me because I lose. I lose if it gets stale. Me Inquisition. It's a good card to hit. So now if I Spellbomb the Grape Shot, they may have a hard time winning. Would you ever play Tier 1 deck in a weekend challenge or area event? Yeah, of course. And I have plenty of times. But I only do so if I feel like they're like the best choice for a tournament, you know? Like especially lately in Modern, like I really haven't felt like any of the established Tier 1 decks are super good choices for the tournament. Obviously they're like they're all fine. They're all fine choices. But I have felt like trying to metagame and trying to get an edge up on the format has been my strategy. It hasn't been working, for what it's worth, but for what it's worth, it hasn't really been working. But I also feel like I just play against the most random shit during like the weekend tournaments lately too. It's been so weird. But maybe that's Modern, right? Maybe that's why you just, playing a Tier 1 deck has got more equity. Do I have a process you go through when building a deck? Yeah, I do. I've written some articles about brewing in Modern and deck building in general, and so generally my process always starts off with step one is always have an idea. That's always step one. Have an idea. I think I'm going to do this now so I can get a Saga token off the Saga here. Yes, step one is always have an idea. Maybe easier said than done, right? But I think that a lot of brewers in Modern especially always start with trying to like pick a card and then build around it. I would say that this is a really this is a really common thing, a common strategy of pick a card that you think is cool and then try to build a deck around this card. But usually I think it's way more successful to try to find either like new technology that's underplayed, like for example here we have Fable of the Mirror Breaker in Jund Saga, or like the Boros Luminancer deck, casting Ground Rift on your Luminancer and the existing Ground Rift on your Illuminancer. I always get those two cards confused because it's like Lumimancer, Clever Illuminator. But casting Ground Rift on your Illuminator is crazy powerful, and something I think you're really incentivized to do. And so, again, for me, it always starts with an idea. And then from there, it's all about maximizing the potential of that idea, if that makes sense. Exploring different options to build around it. Putting different drafts together. And I would say that like 50, 60, 70% of my ideas die in this phase, where I've been doing this for a long time, so if I feel like I can like oftentimes tell if there just like isn't support to flesh out the idea, or if the idea is not quite good enough after like brewing the list together. And then after that, I end up spending time playtesting off stream. I think I have to mulligan this on the draw with Tapland Urza Saga. Close hand. Keep this one. I can put back Tarmogoyf because I probably need to get Blood Crypt here. But the problem with this deck is, like, even if you do play Feetfoot Dancer, your clock is way too slow to pressure Tron, Titan, spell-based combo decks. You're just going to have, I think, too hard of a time racing those strategies, and I would like to see you... Good keep. I'd like to see you figuring out some way to fight those strategies. So like obviously that's the issue with Naya, right? So it's like you're either playing main deck Blood Moon, Magus of the Moon, which you can do here, or you can play Boom Bust, Flagstones of Shakir, but you have to figure something out. Okay. I don't think I'm dashing because I want to resolve this Fable of the Mirror Breaker next turn. With my opponent showing me that they're just top decking, I'm pretty interested in discarding the Thoughtseize to the Fable too. G scored the 24 months, appreciate ya. Yeah, blue-white players are built different. I would play Weather the Storm over Life Goes On as a sideboard card for burn, basically always. I would also do a split of 1 Chalice of the Void, 2 Void Mirrors, so you could have multiple, dude, second Spreading Seas. It's so funny after they, like, just didn't have a functional hand, but I guess I could just prioritize resolving Wrenn and Six here, and then unclog my mana. So again, just kind of like a lot of loose thoughts. Like I like the one main deck Boros Charm is also like super unfocused, right? Where it's like, is this an aggro deck? Because you have 1 Boros Charm, but you also have like 3 Esper Sentinel, 4 Solitude, which are very Solitude and Boros Charm are a big non-bow, right? Where like one card is actively gaining your opponent a lot of life, and the other card is, I probably should have held up push here. Sorry, one card is gaining your opponent a lot of life, and the other card is let me just ping this token, play Saga. And one card is trying to just deal your opponent damage. So I definitely see some tension there too. He didn't score, I think, over the 2 years. My stream lagged. We talked about Fable Dancer. Why wouldn't it work in Modern? It's too low power level. I like, you know, 4 mana 4/4s, even if they have Trample, Haste, Lifelink, that are too low power level. It's just it's so easy for your opponent to spend 1 mana to answer your 4 mana threat and have you get no value from it. It's way too easy. Dude, blue-white players are built so different. They keep the 1 land counterspell hand, top deck Spreading Sea, just all gas. Just built different. Okay, let me discard both lands here. So unreal. They play the Otawara, which it can't be right to play this, right? They draw Snapcaster. Oh, sorry. I guess I should have let the tap trigger just resolve. I feel like you'd be tossing Fleet for pitch time elementals. That is not a good argument. Pitches to elementals most of the time is a terrible argument for playing a card. Like it is the smallest amount of equity ever, and that it doesn't all of a sudden turn a card like Dancer into a modern playable card because you're not going to cast it anyways, you know? That argument almost never holds any water. Okay. We cycle this Triome. Okay, another Saga's not too bad. Be awesome if we could just, like, keep up with the Teferi here. Like, you can play good cards that pitch to your elementals, you know what I mean? Pitching to your elementals is also, like, usually not that big a deal. It's not that hard to pitch an elemental. And again, shouldn't we attack? I think it is better to grow the hearse so that I can actually present lethal at Teferi next turn. Rest in peace, Wrenn and Six. You did some good work. They're saying the card is so bad that's supposed to swim pack. Yeah, maybe I guess probably just misunderstood the point being made. Brainstone, I summon you. Answer my call and un-mana flood me. Not that I'm super flooded. So they're going to counterspell this. We know their hand is Teferi Mystery card. Gonna send that to Fairy for 8 here. I've been really, really liking the Brainstone. I know it looks goofy in the deck, but I've liked it a lot. What's the point of Fable in the deck? Yeah, I talked about it a little bit at the beginning. So I think Fable is modern power level, but you have to have synergies with all 3 modes, right? For it to be a good card. I think that it's like a lot of people want me to just jam it in Rakdos, but in Rakdos it doesn't really have any synergy where you don't have almost any cards that are good to copy, and you like it's hard for you to discard cards for value if you don't have exactly Kroxa. And I think for the most part, okay, so let me go make a token, then Brainstone before I fetch with the Urza Saga. Put back, I think that's just the 2 fetch lands. Then shuffle. Then I kind of want to Shadowspear so I don't die to like random Shark Typhoon. I don't know if that's good. I think it's fine. And I'm kind of letting gas the Nihil Spellbomb's also okay here. Oh, I'm also taking my point for 9 down to 5. There, another hand is just into Fairy. But in this deck, Fable has synergy with all 3 modes, where making artifacts with treasure tokens is great in your Urza Saga deck. I've been really liking like the incidental artifact cards in Jund Saga, where Tireless Tracker makes artifacts. You have Unlicensors to be like an incidental artifact game 1. Very relevant here, as you can see this game. Man, they had to draw an answer for the construct that turn. And I drew another brick. Well, I guess I'm punished for getting the Shadowspear. Do I just resolve the bolt now? No, I just killed the hero. And so you make artifacts in the first mode of treasure token. The discard is really good in a deck with 4 Wrenn and Six, just like you see this game. Like, it's just so easy to have extra lands to discard to the Fable. And then this deck actually has a lot of good creatures to copy. You have Tarmogoyf, you have Urza Saga tokens, and you have Tireless Tracker as like actual good cards to copy with the Fable flip. And then you also get to maintain your Gigantic Companion, which is, I think, very relevant. Your counterspell? Dude, my opponent's draws have been gasoline. They've been so crazy. Oh, Giganta! Oh, I forgot Giganta! I just mentioned Giganta! Do I have a fetchable target left? Sorry, it's hard to lecture, it's hard to lecture on the cards and then remember Giganta. Dude, I talk about the stupid 5/5 all the time, too. Okay, I do have fetchables. I guess I probably should have actually just got the swamp, but... Okay, Tarmogoyf would have won, too. Sorry, hard to lecture. Dude, how many turns was that Teferi active, by the way? How many turns was that Teferi active and we just outgrinded it? That was pretty cool. I've actually been liking Hearse more and more in these kind of matchups. It's like, just like the fact that it dodges the Supreme Verdict effect is really nice. And also my opponent top decking like Spreading Seas into Spreading Seas after like they had nothing in their hand. Is this list based on Dallas DreamHack? Brainstorm super cool. So I started working on Jund Saga after Dallas DreamHack. The trackers were definitely inspired by you. I really like the trackers with Wrenn and Six Saga. I'm trying to remember exactly. Yeah, the answer is yes, but this is like the 3rd Jund Saga stream I've done since DreamHack, so I'm trying to remember exactly how the evolution of the deck went. It's probably all in the Stream Decker. Okay, let's keep this. I think I'll put back 2nd Ragavan, or I could put back the Brainstone and get it off the Saga. That's probably correct. Yeah, I've been really liking the Brainstone. It's been I think better than the Mishra's Bauble for me by a lot. I tried Fable first, which I think you play large number of both. Yeah, I think like 6 3-drops is pretty nice, or no, I don't know if you consider Tracker a 3-drop. Yeah, what was your impression of Fable, Soul? Because I really liked it so far, but my sample size isn't huge. Okay, so jamming something into counterspell is kind of tough here. I think I have to jam though. Fable relied a lot on Wrenn and Six to be truly great for me. Yeah, I think that that's the case, but like the rest of the modes also have like a lot of synergy too, right? Where you make tokens for Urza Saga. Copying Urza Saga tokens I think is pretty good. Copying Tarmogoyf is pretty good. and also, despite me forgetting about it this last game, I am definitely of the opinion that maintaining the... I probably should have actually got Blood Crypt, but I think maintaining the Gigantic Companion is really, really key. What was opponents keep? I mean, they kept like a unkeepable hand game 1 as well. I don't think we're supposed to read too much into it. I'm probably just supposed to... Well, the Fable's pretty good. The Fable lets me discard the Catacombs for some value next turn. Glad something constant Dreadnought again. Turned out a big sleeper last time. Oh, second Archmage's Charm. Oh. Attacking me. I liked the mono blue Dreadnought list. I really thought that affinity list was quite good. I've been meaning to play it on stream again recently, but it's been a little while. So boiling my opponent is pretty appealing here. And then if I do that though, then I'm not making a Saga token. Let me just let this Fable trigger resolve and see what I draw. Nothing too impactful. Rend the Rag and boil them. I think that that's what I should do, but like letting them... They will have like up to 4 mana next turn. But I think that that's probably fine. If only I can needle the treasure tokens. I think I will needle to Fairy Time Raveler though. Could also have gone to Brainstone. That would have been fine. I think they get too many treasures that way. I think that this is fine. But what you ended up doing every time was just name like power play. you would just name the conspiracy with it. Sorry, backup plan was better. You would always name backup plan. Backup plan was definitely the best one. Okay, so we're on the draw. Mulligan to 5. I think I'm putting back the Nihil Spellbomb. I can get it with the Saga if I need it. Yeah, it would be a wild card. And then we also had like Clockwork Librarian. We had a few of like the special draft cards in the cube. Those were really fun. Ooh, hoping not to get my Ragavan, Wrenn and Six. In fact, they play 4 Wrenn and Six. I just have to Thoughtseize. Although I didn't have a fetch land. I think I still have to take it there. Way to take power play out of our power cube because it was usually the best card. I thought that backup plan was better. At least like in the super high power level cubes. You get like 2 opening hands and pick one. It was crazy. So we can dash Ragavan Thoughtseize. I think I'd rather cast Ragavan Thoughtseize. Just to have it be mana generation. I can push the Dwarven Mine token. What do you think about 4-color Kihira in the format? 4-color Kihira basically auto-loses to 4-color Yorion, which makes it a bad choice in my opinion. Oh, they don't have the mountain this turn, actually. Kind of an awkward mulligan on our part. Is this a Wrenn and Six minus turn? Probably not. No, I think it is. I just need to be as aggressive as possible. I misdetected White Brainstone over something more traditional like Pyrite Spellbomb or Springleaf Drum. I've always despised the Pyrite Spellbomb of the main deck of Jund Saga. The whole purpose of playing a Pyrite Spellbomb in these Saga decks is so you can kill Sanctifier and Vec. So just sideboard it, because that's the only time you see Sanctifier and Vec. It's really underpowered otherwise. You could play Springleaf Drum. I've always found like I don't like tapping my creatures for mana in this deck as much as I do in other Urza Saga decks. And Brainstone is just so good to unflood you with Wrenn and Six. This is a very common problem for Jund Saga. You've Wrenn and Sixed a bunch of times. You have a million lands stuck in your hand. You play more lands than other decks do anyways. You play 23 lands. It's actually like pretty easy to get mana flooded. So the ability for Brainstone to come down, brainstorm, get you 3 new cards, put away 2 lands is really valuable and has won me a lot of games. And so like a lot of lists will even like play this is fine. A lot of lists will even play like Mishra's Bauble for a somewhat similar effect, where they're able to just draw a card off of their Urza Saga. And I think Brainstone is way better. What was the decision to swap K Command and other cards by Fable? I think Fable's pretty good here. Is the main reason. So I think Fable's good here. Fable's got a lot of synergy in the deck. I did a little bit of a deck tech at the beginning of the stream, talking about it. Oh, okay. Well, at least that Thoughtseize was good. 9. I think I'm peeling back this Saga. Yeah, I mean, I think that Boseiju just like slow me down and like give them more time to top deck is fine. Definitely not a super traditional play though. Thank you, Doc. You've been doing a good job with the deck techs. It's very helpful. All right, we're getting Thoughtseize bug. No Thoughtseize bug today. Sawa, thank you for the raid. I think that's the first time I've seen your username. What's up? Welcome everybody. Playing some Jund Saga with a little bit of new tech here, or at least new to me. Legacy crew boarding? I mean, I used to be like, I don't know. I used to be super duper into Legacy. It's been a while since I've been in love with the format, unfortunately. Okay, they're killing my Ragavan here. Great suggestion. Will the deck play the deck in Copenhagen in August? Awesome, awesome. Very cool. I played it at a tournament this last week, and I think it's pretty good at the moment. Alright, so we have lethal here. Let me just go make another token. I think the Brainstone's a little bit better than the Shadowspear, since we can kill the blocker with Wrenn. Have another Boseiju. What did I trim from previous list to fit Fable? I cut the second Hearse from the main deck, and then I think I was playing 4 tracker, 1 command, or sometimes I was playing 3 tracker, 2 command, but I ended up cutting either the 4th tracker or 1st command, or the 2 commands for the other 2 Fables from the main. Like, I don't think the commands are as good in the main deck of Jund Saga as they are in Rakdos, because you have all these Boseijus and stuff. Speaking of Boseiju, not as good here as it is in every other big mana matchup. I might be... so usually Red-Green Valakut plays 3 Dryads. So Boil is kind of tempting. I think it's probably good enough to bring in, because I really want to be cutting most of these. I think I want 1 Nihil Spellbomb. Drawstep Kolaghan's command is maybe good against Red-Green Valakut. Could also just leave in all the bolts. I think I want 1 Hearse. 4 Dryad. I think Will's list was only playing 3. I might be misremembering, but most people are playing like something close to Will's list. No, Needle doesn't turn off Valakut, but Alpine Moon can. You could bring an extra Boseiju for Valakut. That's probably not very good though. I think I'm just gonna play the bolts. Oh, 4th Dryad for Wish, right. Why use Boil? So my opponent plays Dryad of the Elysian Grove, which turns all of their lands into lands of all types, including islands. So it's really just like a card that you only want when your opponent has Dryad in play. But when they do have Dryad in play, it usually translates to win the game, which is typically a good effect. And it's in the hand. Let's hope they draw the Dryad. Do you take out lands you sign in Boseiju? Almost never. Like, if I'm citing in Boseiju in a matchup, it's because I'm planning to channel it almost all the time. Obviously, you have the ability to play it as a land. But, again, in the matchups where you cite it in, you're wanting to channel it, so you're wanting to not cite out your lands. Yeah, non-Wrenn and Six deck was a good ratio of fetches to fetchable targets. I've written a long article on Channel Fireball about selecting your lands in your modern brews. There's a lot of articles about like what numbers you need to choose for like number of mana sources and stuff, but there isn't actually like that many good articles on like which specific lands to choose, right? Because there's a lot of like good mana fix to get modern, so getting up to your number of colored sources required is like not that complicated. So I read on that topic about fetches to fetchables too in that article, which you can find on CFB Pro. Okay. A lot of options here. Wrenn and Six ping the Soccer Tribe Elder, so I can attack for 4, put my opponent down to 13. Then I'm attacking for 5 with this next turn, up to 6 with the Shadowspear, I guess. So 6 with 4, 10, 13 damage. Is Gigantha better than Lily? Well, what's nice about... It's not like such a comparison, right? Where... You get to play other powerful 3-drops, right? You get to play, in this deck, Fable, and Tireless Tracker, while also getting a Companion. The Companion wins you a lot of games, like a stupid number of games, to be honest. And the reality is also, too, that, like, meeting the Gigantha Companion requirement in your Jund Saga deck is really nice, because your mana is all of a sudden really good. Where, usually in Jund Saga, it's like a little dicey, you know? I was really hoping that would be a Dryad. But yeah, but usually your mana situation can be a little dicey in your Jund Saga decks, right? Okay, I think I need to get Shadowspear. Just go Shadowspear, Lightning Bolt to blocker, Wrenn and Six to blocker. Oh no, I don't need to Lightning Bolt to blocker because I'm getting the Shadowspear. No Pyromancer because of Gigantha. Well, again, like Fable is maybe better than Pyromancer in this deck. It's close, but if the tiebreaker is your mana is better and you get to play a Companion, then yes. I'm of the opinion that you want to be playing no Season Pyromancer. Why Fable before Spiral? Again, it's got a lot of synergy with Urza Saga, Wrenn and Six, copying Tarmogoyf, Urza Saga Tracker is good, and your mana is better. You get to play Gigantha. Like, you know, when you don't have any double cost cards because you're playing Urza Saga, your mana is just like all of a sudden really good, and you get a free Companion, and you don't diminish your card quality very much while increasing your consistency and getting a Companion, which I think is worth the trade-off. I would have just bolted token, Goyf has trample. I would have just bolted the token, Goyf has trample. Why would you bolt the token, though? This being 6/7 is really nice to dodge. To dodge 2 Valakut triggers. But looks like my opponent's going to wish for Escape Shift here. Oh, ping the token. I mean, it's just... I think pinging the Dryad's a little better. Or, I guess maybe not. Or the Steve. Let's make sure they got enough mountains left. They almost definitely do. Play game 3 on the play. Yeah. Your colorless mana for Saga is way better when you meet the Gigantha Companion requirement. Just to confirm, you think Spyro is still better in regular Jund and Red Black Rock? Yes, I do. I've been saying this a lot about Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Like, this card is modern power level, but you can't just put it in any deck. You have to have synergy in any of the shells you're going to put it in. You can't just put it in Red Black Rock and have it be like phenomenal or better than other 3-drops. Ping token, if they block stack, you get more damage. That's true, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense to ping the token then. think it's worth buying a playset and paper for Ponza. I think it's a good option in Ponza. Got a lot of synergy in that deck too. Copying your creatures, discarding to Wrenn and Six. I ended up buying a playset of Fables for the creativity deck in Pioneer recently, and I didn't realize I opened one. I opened one in a pack, so now I have 5 Fables. Okay, definitely gonna keep this. How good is Shredder in a blue-red aggro Giganta deck? And the Delver deck, Shredder is good in every deck. I don't know this. Shredder is the best card in every deck. Oh, that's true. Now I have one for my my Magda Commander deck. Hell yeah. Let's go. Okay. Durance is kind of obnoxious here. I feel like I should take the Soccer Tribe Elder because their hand is really clogged up at 3 and they need the density of ramp. And then playing Tarmogoyf or Wrenn and Six is kind of tricky here. I actually think drawing Fable, I should just play the Wrenn and Six so I can play the Fable next turn and like draw 2 cards off of it. Also, they do have the Dryad in their hand, so let's hopefully draw the Boil. If I decide to give it a try Fable. I've cast Fable plenty of times in Modern, but I think it's particularly good in Jund Saga, not that good in other Rock Shells. Deciding which 3-drop to play. They're opting for Endurance. For turn, we draw another Verdant Catacombs, so I'm just going to discard Verdant Catacombs, Proving Ground here. Fable good with Ox of Agonis, Hayashi. Sounds okay. How many fetch lands is Hayashi playing there? Huh. So I put it Endurance is my graveyard. I can attack and kick Turok. I think I just want to go Saga Goyf though. Goyfs are 2/3s. Do you have a list for Pioneer Crew 2 with Fable? Yeah, that's in the Stream Decker. It's a Is It deck with Magma Opus and Torrential Gearhulk. You can't kick. I can kick by playing a different land that taps for black, attacking with Goblin Shaman. But I chose to play Saga instead. So if they wish, that grows the Goyfs. Playing Dryad. Arid Mesa. So their hand is Wish, 3 mystery cards, likely 3 spells if they're not playing a land. Don't really have good attacks. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Turok this turn, which will make the Goyfs really big. Can make maybe copy a Goyf next turn. Ultimate Wrenn and Six to get a Planeswalker in the yard. I can't kick first here. I could have kicked first if I didn't play the Saga last turn, so maybe that was better. But Saga is also an enchantment in the yard for Goyf. I'm going to cry if they Veil of Summer me. Okay. Discard Wish, search for tomorrow. It's gonna be okay. So next turn my Tarmogoyfs are gonna be 6/7s, and I can copy one with Reflection. They've got 1 unknown card in their hand over there. Would love to draw a Boil, would love to draw a Lightning Bolt, would love to draw Terminate. Wish with 2 mana up after they've played a land, but they can play a Valakut. Oh no, they can play a Valakut with 2 fetch lands. Targeting me? Okay, weird. Have I heard of French Commander? I feel like this is a punchline, but I haven't, no. They're playing to win, not to survive? Well, aren't I just going to get them with the Shadowspear with this line, though? Now they can't even kill a Tarmogoyf in response to the equip. So I'm gaining 7 life up to 16. My opponent can deal me 6 if they draw another fetch land. That's 12. Attack for 5 is 15. Also, if I copy here, that's 6, 12, plus 9. Oh yeah, they have to block with something. Oh, it's built for 1/1? That's interesting. Dead to Scape Shift, dead to Primeval Titan off the top. Not dead to Wish because they don't have enough mana to... Oh, they can Wish for Valak. Wish for Valak, play Valak at 6 plus... Yeah, I'm dead to Wish also. They only have 2 more Wishes in the deck though. If you copy Equip Glyph, just keep life. No, it doesn't. They only have 1 Valakut sideboard. Oh, they wished for this one. Right. I forgot that they already wished for a Valakut. Yeah. Unless they just somehow sided one out. Okay, so that decreases their outs. Scape Shifter usually not played that many copies of the main, so it's like... Yeah, we're pretty likely to win this one. I wonder if they were thinking that they could kill a Goyf in response to the equip, and not realizing they can't kill it in response to the Wrenn -7 because it's already in the yard. Yeah, I agree. There's no way they drew Titan or Scape Shift here. Or maybe they had a heart attack from the excitement, and then once they recover, they'll cast it. Is Wish Shift better or worse than regular Bring to Light Scape Shift in the meta? I don't know. I would say maybe a little bit better. It's a bit more consistent. It's a bit faster. Although Bring to Light has a better Mark type matchup. They did draw Wish. But because they've already wished for Valakut, they don't kill me, I think. Exciting match. Endurance. Well, they get a similar card to Endurance in Tormod's Crypt. If they target themselves, my Goyfs become base 4 power. If they target me, the Goyfs become base 5 power, I think. It's a pretty good one. Although here, I think I'm wanting to go Tireless Tracker, Fetch Land, Alpine Moon, make them react, and then I can copy the reflection, make it like a 5/5 if they end up shrinking the Goyfs too much, or yeah, 5/5. Okay, 3-0 on the day, feeling pretty good. This is usually like one of the few formulas for turn 1 discard spell instead of turn 1 Ragavan. Obviously, they might play a Tronland, they'll play Ragavan. But usually, like with 2 discard spells and 1 threat, and the 1 threat's Ragavan, usually cast discard spells first. We're gonna come by Fable, Tarmogoyfs, Urza Saga tokens, and Tireless Trackers, which is much better than Red Block Rocks, like just copy Voidwalker, and which is like worse than all the other cards. 61 might be an amulet. Yeah, maybe. It's definitely information you don't really get on paper. You know what I mean? You don't really get to see that your opponent's playing 61 cards on paper. Maybe just Valakut again. Yeah, Valakut's so popular lately, it's crazy. Definitely playing around Wrenn and Six, they play 4. Suspends a second copy of Search for Tomorrow, so we get to go... I think I do want to Thoughtseize the Wish. Get the mana generation from Ragavan going. Could double spell next turn. Yeah, I know you could ask for deck size before every match, but your opponent would just like... I don't know. No, I've never seen anybody do it. I think that... I don't want to be the one to do it. The key to Fable is it doesn't really matter what you copy. The card is good. I don't think that that's exactly true. I would how I would qualify it is like with Fable you have to have some synergy with all three modes. Where like in red black I don't think that the card is like better than like Seasoned Pyromancer. It's a better grindy card than Liliana, but you know you play Liliana more so for interaction than the ability to grind. Sorry. I mean, I'm gonna either play Saga first, or Tracker then Saga, or I guess the question is, do I want a treasure token or a clue token? I think I want a treasure token or clue token. Sorry, there's one more point I wanted to make. Yeah, but sorry, in this deck, all three modes have like got way more synergy here than they did in the red black deck. 2 cards in opponent's hand. Jund has placed well recently. Yeah, what do you think changing the format to allow that? I mean, Jund faced well specifically at DreamHack Dallas. I was at DreamHack Dallas, and like the reality is that the 4-color Omnath players knocked each other out of the tournament early. Mason was like the only 4-color player who like made it into the end of the tournament, largely due to like weird pairings where they just kind of all got paired against each other very early. Is from what I understand about the tournament, and then the Jund players didn't play against 4-color Omnath until the finals and got crushed. But Soul still got his invite, so maybe I don't have all the details exactly right, but that was my impression of what happened. I'm not saying the deck is not viable. I'm obviously playing it here. I think Jund actually has an incredible matchup spread in Modern, and is horrible against 4-color Omnath. Red Black getting to main deck, Turok getting to main deck, Voidwalker getting to main deck Liliana makes like them have a much stronger matchup. Jund Saga specifically has just such a hard time against them. It's a nightmare. But you can just hope to dodge the matchup to some extent and win it when you do play against it. Not the worst plan. Would Boseiju be okay for Valakut? I'm not sure. I'm kind of trying to figure that out. It also hits Dryad. Let me play 1 over like I'm gonna cut the basic forest. I beat Omnath the Darker since 6-7. Yeah, sure. I'm being a bit hyperbolic. But, for the most part, I think Jund has a great matchup spread in Modern, besides specifically Omnath. Although this Valakut matchup's also pretty bad, too. They're up to 62! They're up to 62. Immediately punished for siding into Boseiju, also. I think I keep this, though. Smooth things out the Brainstone, smooth things out the Fable. What if somebody already had invite wins with a run up, get the spot? That's how it used to be. No, I guess sorry, they've had a few different rules over the years. I think that usually the person, if you're already qualified and you make the top 8, usually what happens is you'll offer a split with like whoever's qualifying, where you'll say, hey, if you give me all the prizes, I'll give you the invite, and usually that's a favorable split for the person getting the invite. But I don't think that there is a rule against just like playing the tournament anyways. Okay, so my opponent's on a mulligan to 5. I think I'm taking the Endurance. You cannot play in RCQs if you have the invite. Okay, I know that they've changed that rule a few different times. I believe you. Recommend the one of Brainstone for any other Saga decks. I like Brainstone if you're playing Saga and Wrenn and Six. I don't really like it elsewhere. I wonder if I'm going to Legend roll Boseiju. So I just can't believe I like forwarded this in over the forest in the last second, immediately punished. You can play an RCQ even with invite. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was, but I don't know. They just change it so often. It's hard to keep track. Okay. Never punished. Yeah, no one can stop you. So I'm under playing 4-color Glimpse or Boroskeddon deck for RCQ. I think the Boroskeddon deck's still like a little untuned. I'd recommend the Glimpse instead. I think Glimpse is really good. There seems to be some conflicting information on whether you can or cannot play. Alright, 2/4 Dryad. Come on, Boil. Boil, please. Let's discard these two. Yeah, the red-green Valakut deck is really popular. Andrea Mengucci wrote a deck guide for Channel Fireball for the archetype recently, if you're looking to learn about it. One card left in their hand. And should be able to force a... Oh, boy. Casting it as quick as I can. Just as quick as I can. Shouldn't you have kept Boseiju for Dryad? I think ramping them to Primeval Titan mana is worse than Boseijuing the Dryad there. And also I might draw Boil. I decided to rock the whiteboard basics on Moto. Sometimes I take the time to pick the basic lands, and sometimes I let the client choose for me. Just depends on the mood I'm in, I guess. Alright, let's run back. I'll play that. We're not going to draw both Boseijus again. Boils an instant. Yeah, there's also a sorcery version of the card, but it is an instant. This is deck winning number of cycling lands. So we do have a Triome, but I think that Boseiju Triome for Urza Saga is enough utility lands that you don't want the cycle lands. That being said, in non-Saga Jund, I am a big fan of... Oh no, this was not a keep. Sorry, fuck. This was definitely not a keep. In non-Saga land or Jund decks, I do like some of the cycle lands. This is definitely not a keep. Just kind of like autopiloted the sand without remembering that I'm up against Valakut. I'm gonna get Veil Summered. Brutal. Boseiju seemed great there if it had been a playable card. Yeah. I don't know. I think that having like 2 is probably a good number. I'm not sure that you want too many more than that. Alright, 2 for 1 into 2 for 1 against the bad keep. My bad chat. Into drawing 2 lands for turn. Maybe I'll rip a Fable, get bailed out. Oh, this is a 3 for 1 actually. Oh yeah, I also have Giganta? Per DreamHack website, if you're qualified at RCQ, you can't play another one. They can play at destination events, but you can't win a second invite. They can play at destination events. I don't know what that means. Destination events. You can check the Stream Decker Real Gold. If you type !deck, then you can find the list in the Stream Decker. Or you can find it on YouTube. I guess it's not on YouTube yet, probably. Alright, we'll play it out. Oh, like SCG energy. I see. That makes sense. What's my impression on the Jund decks only running 3 sagas? It's fine. You can just play 3 if you want to. I think I'd prefer to be on the full 4. It's very close. Alright, I'm going to snipe both of my opponent's payoffs with this Turok. Dreadbore would be cool against these Planeswalkers. Yeah. The problem with like playing Dreadbore over Terminate though is you lose a lot of equity against Hammer Time, Amulet Titan, and Murktide. Okay, I'm only sniping their 1 payoff out of their hand. Wait, why are they playing this? They have Engineered Explosives? Opinion on this old homebrew. Curve seems way too high. You have 12 4-drops. I've tried to mess around with Mirror Box a little bit, and it is really cool when you get like multiple 4-drops into play, but curve to me just looks like way too high for Modern. Sorry, bad keep. Just kind of autopiloted while I was talking. say of your choices of things to win the game after you Blood Moon your opponent. Okay, 80 cards. Happy to playtest some more against the Omnath matchup. See if it's still as bad, but it almost definitely is. I think that this is... You could choose basically anything that's better. Mulling to 5 against Omnath is just like... blah. Just the worst thing. I think I have to put like the Swamp. I will say that I really dislike Rootbound Crags here. I would be rather just be in on like... I would also not play the second Boseiju. But I would play 8 fetch lands, 4 Stomping Ground, and probably second Mountain. Maybe not, and 9th fetch land probably actually as well. So kind of weird to not have a mirror box as a Karn target. I don't know. I don't think I've got too many more notes. I guess I will also say this. I don't really like Karn very much in the Ponza decks. The card is very, very slow. Fetch land. Yeah, the card is very, very slow in these decks and is very disruptible, just like the rest of the deck too. Yeah, also the deck should play Ragavan in your mirror box deck. Okay, I'm on a mull to 5. I'm stumbling against Omnath. I will concede for my mental health. I've actually been liking Hearse a lot more against 4-color lately, too. Small thing, but I've been liking it. Then I think I want 2 push, 2 terminate. I can play second Nihil Spellbomb, the Shadowspear, at first Kolaghan's Command, first Lightning Bolt. I think I'll play first Bolt. I don't really like the Kolaghan's Command against them. Yeah, especially good against the Delirium versions, which my opponent's playing Heat, so they're more likely to be taking their time. Definitely an uphill battle from this point, though we got a keepable hand this time. I think I might like to go basic Mountain into Overgrown Tomb. I could maybe just go basics this game if I feel like my life total's not that important. Ragavan over Karn. I mean, it's just like, you know, for decks like that, right? It's a bit more complicated, right? Like Ragavan over Karn would be a start. Ragavan over Karn would be a start, and then playing like Bard class would be interesting too. But it's tough to. It's just tough because there's like so many things I would build differently about the deck that I gave you like a lot of insights into like why I didn't like constructing the deck like that. But it's tough for me to just like completely rip it apart and not know where like the jank needs to stop and like the good stuff needs to start. You know what I mean? Like the curve needs to be way, way lower. You need to play a completely different sideboard because you're not playing Karn. You probably need to play Bard class. And it's just tough to be like, you know, offer us a change of like literally like 40 or 50 different cards for a deck tech. So like usually for those that are like, you know, kind of like intentionally janky homebrews, it's just better for me to like again critique those points, talk about like why your weaknesses are weaknesses, and then kind of give you that insight to go from there. That's usually what I like to do. Rough. Although I've got my own Wrenn and Six. Let's get a Blood Crypt. Or no, sorry, Proving Ground. Yeah, can we please draw the 4th Fable? I think I'll play the Saga. And then I'm also probably just gonna dash at them. I might end up needling the Wrenn and Sixes with the Saga. Man, I want to play the Eternal Witness, but it just gets pinged by the Wrenn. Is that okay? I mean, I don't have anything good to get back either. Play Fable. Getting pretty close to a Wrenn emblem. Thoughtseize is interesting. Hopefully I don't get Veil of Summered. I've been Veil of Summered too many times today. One is too many times. So I'm probably supposed to go Thoughtseize, kick Turok, Ragavan. I think I'll Thoughtseize first to play around either Veil of Summer or 1 mana red removal spell. Okay, take Omnath. And I know it seems weird to play the Ragavan here into the Wrenn and Six minus, but I think just like Wrenn and Six, or Ragavan just saying, hey, your Wrenn and Six is at 2 less loyalty, is fine when I'm like so ahead on resources here. Like, I just have so many resources. I think I just want to start trading aggressively as I can. Kind of disappointed to not snipe the expressive iteration with the Turok either, but that's going to have to be okay. Iterating expressively into Ice Fang. I'm a bit worried I'm going to win this match and then win against 4-color today and then audible to this deck for the RCQ. They pinged Wrenn and Six? I guess that makes sense. And like a Prismatic Ending Ragavan? Hey Eyelash, how's it going? Glad to see you're back on the Moto grind. Okay, so what are we doing this turn? I'm probably going to push Ice Fang plus Wrenn and Six. And I'll have 5 mana after that. And so I can either go... I'll probably go Saga Token. They're going to instant speed Prismatic Ending my Ragavan. I'll probably go Saga Token and Tarmogoyf beyond that. And then Needle to Fairy. Tough turn. Flip Saga. If they ephemerate the Ice Fang, I'll ping after, but I think they're just gonna Prismatic Ending the Ragavan. Didn't you just Thoughtseize kick Turok? How do they have that many cards in hand? I mean, they've plussed Wrenn and Six a bunch, and they also haven't done anything this game. I think that's a pretty common thing, actually. Like, you'll like discard your opponent a couple times, he'll just have a bunch of cards in your hand, and you'll just realize, oh, my opponent actually hasn't done anything this game. But their Wrenn and Six goes down. Their Teferi is needled. Sometimes these 4-color decks play Wraths. I'm just gonna commit into it though. I've got still like nothing but gas in my hand. I need to keep the pressure on. If I was playing 4-color for RCQ, which variants would I play? I was talking with my friend Jose, who actually did win the RCQ we played with the 4-color deck. But I was playing, we were playing like, it was pretty similar to Mason's list, but with a few more Eladamri's calls, so that you could play Charmal and hedge against the Tron decks, which I think are kind of popular in the area. Although I'd actually be like, I'd be close to like main decking a Charmal. I'd be close to main decking a Charmal. I don't know. There was just like a lot of Tron locally for us, at least. Get 2 damage on the Turok, so they must have something else here. Yikes. So they're gonna kill probably Saga Token, Turok, 1 damage to Wrenn. Great turn. Does he have a list anywhere? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I obviously have not been playing much 4-color lately. I don't think Jose's in the chat that often either. Sorry. We do get to make our opponent shump block. And it's probably, okay, so this is a trade. And then we're even beating a Supreme Verdict, because they can't instant speed it. Give it a chance to Wrenn and more Saber-Tooth Sagas. I mean, with no lands in my hand... Yikes, what a top deck. With no lands in my hand, I think it's better to just keep plussing. But it's just contextual. So they don't have Yorion in their hand yet. They're 1 mana short of Yorioning here. They do have Yorion mana? I'm counting that they're 1 short, right? Because they have 7, right? They cost 8 to Yorion and cast. What am I missing? 3 plus 4 is 7, yeah. They do have 2 cards in their hand. They have 6 mana because they played the Temple Garden tapped. Cycles Triumph. Fang. Should be winning this game pretty easily, actually. Maybe Famous Last Words. The emblem does reduce dead draw significantly. Yeah, but at least at this point, game specifically too, like we're really ahead on board, so I need to keep pushing that advantage rather than trying to mitigate future dead draws when I already have a ton of gas. Ooh. Okay, this does landfall me. But it is less pressure. Definitely making a token. Making a token, getting Shadows... Oh, I don't have Shadowspear in the deck. I do have Brainstone. But this turn, we should just ping the Ice Fang. Force a chump block. Or, sorry, they can go to 1 if they block the Goyf. Wait, concede. Well, outgrinding that was pretty nice, although they did have a, like, kind of slow start. Miss lethal by cracking clues to pump tracker. I don't think I missed the lethal. I couldn't crack clues end of turn. I didn't use my mana there, so. I know I have 4 clues. I don't think I had 8 mana. Oh yeah, it also just blocked the tracker because the Goyf has 6 power too. Even if I did have 8 mana, I might have. Okay, basic swamp Wrenn and Six. Kind of awkward. Probably have to keep this though. Points on a mobile 6. Do you have a Reclaimer build I can share? I share that I think Reclaimer builds are worse. I think I have to take the dress down. I've got Saga in my hand here. Despite Ice Fang being really good. I also have the Wrenn and Six to ping it. So they drew Wrenn and Six, because of course. Because of course. So I guess I have my Needle. I might be needling Boseiju this game. But I think I'm playing Tarmogoyf over my own Wrenn. So let's see if they chump block. And now this is a really hard decision, actually. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. This is actually, I think, I'm gonna cast the Needle off the Urza Saga in hopes that they Boseiju it. Although they might just Boseiju this now, which would make my Needle even better. Yeah, if they're gonna think about responding to this trigger with Boseiju, then things get really easy. Yeah, I'm gonna cast the Needle in hopes that they Boseiju my Saga in response, because like the only activated ability that they know that I know is Boseiju. They were already thinking about Boseijuing the Saga in response anyways. So I think it makes a lot of sense for them to just do it now. And then that allows me to get an untapped Mountain, Lightning Bolt Wrenn, replay Wrenn, get back Saga. They probably think you're going to name Wrenn. Maybe there's a reason to play my Wrenn first. I mean, I am going to name Boseiju. And then I think I pinged their Wrenn and Six. Well, no, I'll just plus. Because I'm going to need to ping the Ice Fang. I can just bolt the Wrenn next turn. Yeah, I think in order for that bait to be better, I should have played my own Wrenn and Six first. I think that makes more sense. They ping Wrenn, they flash ice, we kill my Wrenn, but that kills their Wrenn, and I have a backup Wrenn, so I think it's like fine. Barf. So we can ping plus bolt plus Saga token this turn. Kill their Wrenn and Six. That's actually fine. I do think that there is some argument to just attacking them, by the way, but I think that the game is close enough. I hate this deck so much. How do they just always have infinite Omnaths? It's so frustrating. March the Needle. Boseiju the Saga so I can get my Brainstone. To make a token. Yeah, my Brainstone was going to be, or I thought it might have been good here. Let's see what we draw. Where's my Omnath, huh? Doesn't seem like there's a huge point to attacking when they just have unlimited life here. Can we even win through an unchecked Omnath? Oh, we can. Like, it is possible for us to draw better than them, just really unlikely. They have enough to Yorion here, too. Excited for the 5-color Omnath? I actually am excited to see what it does. I don't think it's going to be nearly this pushed. What is this attack? Endurance? Endurance. If they endurance me, should double block. Okay. Okay. That worked. Now I get to Thoughtseize Yorion. And they don't have green mana for Veil of Summer. They don't have green mana for Veil of Summer. What in the world? What in the world just happened? And then we get to Brainstone next turn too. I think I'm a double block. Just keep the Urza Saga train rolling. Drew Solitude, okay. We know that they have a Veil of Summer too, so we need to never cast a discard spell. Easy enough though. Okay, so let me get Brainstone. Oh, whoops. Pick up Saga. Probably Brainstone next turn. Should you not have fetched end of turn there? I should not have fetched end of turn. I did fetch end of turn. I think I was supposed to fetch end of turn to get a tap dual land. Was the idea for the Brainstone shuffle? Because that might be correct. They can cycle the Veil of Summer here, which is fine. They don't cycle Veil of Summer. But I kind of just want the Brainstone to be in play for the extra point of power, too. They shock and then Eldamri's Call. For Fury. Okay, probably need to use the mana to Brainstone now. So hit me for 3. They have the Veil still. Giganta holding down the fort, maybe. Okay, so if I play trap, my Saga token's gonna be a 4/4 or 3/3. I think it makes sense to just go Tracker, fetch land, Ragavan, make token. Likely chump blocking the Fury with Ragavan this turn. And then maybe making a Saga token, double blocking Endurance, taking 3. Or maybe taking 6, trading Ragavan for Solitude, double block Endurance. Maybe double block Fury is better, but I lose both my creatures. Okay. Okay, let's just take 6. I don't have my Shadowspear, but I can take 6, I think. Last card, still Veil of Summer. That's not a bad one. My token's gonna be 5/5s now, so we'll just put another 5/5 into play. What a game. What a game. Who would win? All of the most expensive cards from Modern Horizons 2 in the same deck? Or one free 8 mana 5/5? Okay, the Exile Saga, but I have another Saga to recur with my Wrenn here. Alright, good to cut my opponent off blue mana. Certainly not that interested in cracking clues very aggressively this game, since it shrinks my constructs. Might pop the Spellbomb end of turn. It's kind of a frustrating draw for them. I'm out of Sagas in the graveyard too. Last card's still Veil of Summer, so that's not a lot of help. Don't love shrinking the constructs. Okay, that grows the constructs though. Although I don't have too many targets left. I just nuked the... I guess I have my graveyard. I have my graveyard. How come I'm not brewing any sweet 4-color Omnath decks? Because there are no sweet 4-color Omnath decks. I had one that was with Rockrick a while ago. Or, yeah, Rockrick. Nah, I'm just teasing, it's fine. If you like the Omnath decks, it's fine. No gatekeeping here. But I can never miss a moment to clap back, you know. Yeah, I think my current plan is to just Rimble him. Oh, maybe I should have held the Catacombs for that purpose then. There is Veil of Summer, 2 mystery cards. If they had a stranded blue card, they can cast it now. I'm still going to be hearsing myself, just trying to keep all my instants and sorceries in the yard if I can, and try to keep a Goyf as big as possible, but I can exile one of my artifacts, and maybe that's it. No, I can exile creature. So I guess that does shrink the Goyf. I can grow it at instant speed with the Catacombs. I guess now I'll attack with the Giganta, too. Although holding it back... No, holding it back is better against Dress Down, because then they get to kill my Wrenn and Six. Or it's not let me ultimate the Wrenn and Six. Oh, I must say 2 sorceries, but, I mean... Yeah, I guess I'm never casting those anyways. I have the Inquisition in my hand. Bright Iteration. Yeah, I know I still have a basic forest in the deck, but I'm holding it for Tireless Tracker, the ability to fetch and trigger tracker. Oh, I thought this was game 2. This is game 3. I was thinking that their clock might be relevant, but it's probably not going to be. They did find Dress Down. They don't currently have blue mana. They still don't have blue mana because I can hearse them. So they have to ping my Wrenn and Six. They messed up. Beating 4-color with Jund feels pretty good. Maybe good enough to, like, make up a little bit for that punt in match 4. Although they definitely... I think we definitely lose that game if they don't punt really, really hard at that Omnath attack. And then that Wrenn and Six should have minus instead of plussing there. Grixis Shadow.